taking a look at Fisker stock, we have a continuous cycle right here with ups and downs, downward trend resistance lines, support levels, resistance levels, and as of recent, we had a downward trend resistance line dating back since June 28th, 2021. Multiple touch points, went up to it, got knocked down, went up to it, got knocked down, twice right here, bounced off, got knocked down twice, etc., 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 and broke through it as of recent based off the analyst update with the bullish case of $90 per share, and it spiked up. Unfortunately, got pulled back down. In my opinion, I'm pretty sure that short positions getting pulled down because right now, if you've noticed from the past that I've stated, if you look at Fisker stock statistics, in terms of shorted position shares for floated shares, it is above 20%. When it is above 20%, that puts a stock into extremely shorted territory, and this is as of July 30th, 2021. Now, this is for floated shares. This does not include restricted shares. If you look at outstanding shares, it's at 11.21%. Difference is outstanding shares does include restricted shares, but I tend to look at floated shares anyway, just because the unrestricted shares is the main one of my concern overall for the most part. Now, that was as of July 30th, 2021. If you look right here, this is as of August 11th with a drop right here to August 13th. Sorry, I can't talk right now. That is a massive drop. We came from roughly hitting $19 and something cents, $19.40, something like that, and getting pulled back all the way down to what we're at currently at $14.40. Pre-market is at $14.37 for the time being. So given all that, that will put it in even more extremely short territory above the case of 20 to 21%. And the question is, at what point will it reverse? Now, if you look at these two charts right here, this is the MACD line and this is the RSI chart. So the MACD line indicates if it's a bearish or bullish movement. For the time being, it is in the negative, so it is in the bearish movement, but you could see the uptick right here in the 3-month chart. So in terms of the 3-month movement, again, it's still negative, it's still bearish, but it's trying to curve up to the positive to be a bullish case. You can see these bars right here, they're becoming a lighter shade of red, plus smaller, indicating a potential reversal. And then also, if you look at the RSI chart right here, this indicates if it's overbought or oversold. Right now, it is in extremely oversold territory. Does it have to reverse to the upside necessarily soon? Not a guarantee. I do expect a little bit more downside, unfortunately, for the following reason, but I do expect a reversal. I don't think it's going to be a massive drop overall, and I'll explain for the following reasons. So for the first, and I'm going to explain those following things, plus I'm going to explain what price point will it bounce off of. So what support levels, and then I'll explain the resistance levels towards the end because I don't think that's important right now. For the time being, I'll explain that in the future videos because I think it's going to take quite some time to get up there a little bit, just a few trading days at least. So if you look at the one year chart, it was going up to, so in terms of the one year movement, it was in the bullish case for the time being. It looked like it was reversing, unfortunately got knocked back down. More of a reason why I think it got extremely shorted during this time period right here, and it reversed to the negative, so it's a negative bearish movement overall. If you look at the RSI for the 1 year, it's not really oversold or overbought, it's just in the middle. And then if you look at the 5-year chart, it reversed to the negative, so it's a bearish run. And again, RSI is not really oversold or overbought. But if you look at the 3-month, like I stated, I think this is more closer to what will happen. So technically, in a way, just because the 1 year got reversed so quickly, I think the same thing could happen the other way around for the 1 year. Sorry, I'm jumping around, but for the 1 year, it could reverse back up again. So, for example, you've seen in this time period right here where it reversed to the positive, and then it reversed to the negative, and then reversed back to the positive. So it doesn't have to be overall steep, but this was a steep case where it dropped dramatically to the $9 price point. But then you could see it again here where it just stayed flat. So it went green, negative, and then green again, and it was relatively flat. So two scenarios could happen. Just keep in mind any of those cases could be possible. But if we go back to the 3-month chart, right about here, you can see that potentially could reverse. Now, the level that I think it's going to hit for, potentially before it reverses to the upside in terms of the 3-month chart is it could potentially hit the support level around $13.50. There is support at the $14 price point, but I think potentially because given the 1 year chart and the 5-year chart, there's a chance that it's going to hit $13.50 and then bounce up to the upside. So just to visually show what I mean, it's actually going to probably hit this downward trend resistance line at one point, maybe 1467 or something, whenever it hits it, because the longer it takes, the lower the high will be, if that makes sense. and then it's going to come down to 1350 at one point, or bounce off actually $14 first, and then hit the downward trend resistance line, then hit 1350, and then go up, try to break through this downward trend resistance line. The reason why I think it's going to go up at one point and bounce off 1350 is because this downward trend resistance line, by the time it meets a horizontal support level, it's relatively soon. For the most part, probably the end of the trading week. So end of the trading week or early next week, you could probably see a reversal to the upside. Now everything starts collapsing because technically the markets are headed down a little bit for the time being. I think the S&P 500 is a little bit heading down. So because of that case, you could potentially see the next support level, which is roughly about the 1297, 1296, 1295, 1293 level price point here and there, which you might not see the 1290 range overall because the $13 support level could be in play. But for the most part, I think even if it hits 13, you might still see 1290 anyway, regardless. And then that would extend the breakthrough, the downward trend resistance level into the mid/end of next week, trading week. So there's that. So those are the levels that you would expect to reverse on the upside. Now, if it does go to the upside, again, this downward trend resistance level will be a battle. But then after that, you're going to have to pass these moving averages for the most part, which play a role between well, actually, first of all, you got resistance at, in general, the $15 price point, $15.50, and then after that you have $16 with the moving average, and then all the way up to $17. So $16 to $17 is going to be quite difficult to pass, plus the original moving horizontal resistance level right here at $17.28, give or take $17.20, $17.30 overall. But for the time being, I think most likely what's going to happen is it's going to be more like this, like I've stated earlier, with the 1 year chart and the 5 year chart, and then the RSI and all stuff, and the MACD line. I think most likely it's going to dip down potentially to 1350, maybe even 13, like the 1290, $13 price point range. But even if it does, I think it's going to go sideways. I don't think it's going to drop even more than that. But quick disclaimer before I continue, like always, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a professional. Everything I do share with you is just my opinion. It is not advice. So please do your own due diligence and research before buying and selling. And but then after the fact, because it's oversold right now in terms of the 3-month chart, I do expect a bounce to the upside. Is it going to be a massive bounce? For the time being, unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be massive until the Ocean vehicle comes out by the end of the year. But we'll have to wait and see, and I'll keep you posted as much as I can, as much as possible. And also, if you go to the 1 month chart too, by the way, just to visually show, the MACD line right now is reversing to the upside. It is in the bullish movement overall, so it is optimistic, plus it is oversold. So more of a reason why I expect, not necessarily it's going to reverse the upside right now, but at least it's going to be bouncing off a support level, whether it be the $14 price point or the $13.50. I don't think necessarily we'll see the $12.90, but it is a possibility, and I think you'll most likely bounce off that based off of the 1 month chart and the 3-month chart overall. That's basically it. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask. I'll try to answer them as soon as possible. If you like the video, consider dropping a like. It does help out the channel, so thank you so much for that. And if you like this video or other financial videos or other stock videos, consider subscribing so you'll be notified when I do upload my next video. And that's basically it. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.